Great to get a chance to sit down and spend a few minutes with Mayor John McCann of Hilton Head Island. Mr. Mayor, some issues starting to come as we get into the fall. We got a soapbox here. Step up on it. What's got you going?
Well, the number one issue we'll hold to last, which is baseball.
Okay. Yeah, well, yeah, that's the important
This is
stuff.
what fall's all about, the start of football, the end of baseball along the way. We've been noticing for a long time that the municipalities are losing less and less control over their own destiny. There has been and continues to be recognition that the state of South Carolina legislation has diminished the home rule powers and authorities that was designed for the state governments. In the spirit of better government and continuing cooperation, we urge us to allow to do our jobs that we were elected for. We will be conducting a meeting on the 9th of October with our local representatives, with state representatives, with the municipality mayors and town managers to discuss the home rule situation. It involves us greatly because it talks about business licensing, it talks about plastic bags, it talks about the budget money we get back. There's a whole load of things that have come to our attention that the state government is little by little taking those authorities away from us.
It seems like we're getting this, and we get it at all levels, that the closer government is to the people, it seems to be the place where government works best, whether it be towns and their people, states, maybe not quite as much over towns, and then of course the feds over states. Is that kind of where you're coming from?
Well, it is, and you know, we went to a municipal association meeting about a month ago. Of 11 bills that are coming before the Senate and the legislation this year, all 11 take powers away from municipalities. Some of them don't affect us, some affect other municipalities. It's wrong. I mean, you can't keep governing that way along the way. So what we're doing is to bring it out, to expose it, to bring it out to help our state legislation work with us to change it, and to bring it out so that people understand what's being taken away from us.
As conservative as this state is politically, we can talk politics for a second.
Sure.
Why is it that way? Because it would seem to be the conservative doctrine is make it closer to the people, less bigger government oversight, and yet it's going backwards. Why? Any idea why?
As people get more control of the state legislature, they require more power. The more power there, the more rules they absorb there, the more control they have, the more they control the spending of the states and the direction of the state. I mean, Hilton Head, for example, requires different things than small towns up by Columbia. Greenville requires different things than other towns. It shouldn't be one size fits all. The municipality should control a lot themselves. For example, next year, we're being hit by a $300,000 charge for the state pension for the employees, that they're passing it down for the municipalities to pay $300,000. But at the same time, it's state law that we can't raise our taxes. Something's wrong with this equation here. Something's wrong, and something has to be discussed, and that's why we're bringing this to the attention.
Where does that $300,000 come from if you've got to kick it in and you can't raise taxes?
That's right. That's one of the issues along the way.
Okay.
But there's a lot of them out there.
All right. That will be interesting to follow and interesting to watch and interesting to see. I think a lot of folks on the island and in the low country think we'd be a whole lot better off running ourselves and maybe waving even a different flag.
Yes.
You know, so we'll get to that.
Well, we got to cross the bridge to get to there, though.
But we got to cross the bridge to get to there, and that's the next thing I wanted to get to.
Fine.
The bridges, the State Department of Transportation has put 6 different ideas out there. Folks, you should be reminded again, go to the website, Google 278 Corridor Project, and you'll find out the 6 options. I'm not going to ask you which one of the 6 you like best, but what's the priority to you? Is it cost? Is it time to complete the project? Is it not interrupting the lives of Native Islanders along the corridor? Where do you prioritize things in what you're looking at?
Well, first of all, the state has done a magnificent job of getting people's attention, bringing the information forward, making the state people available. So the state's done a good job of doing this along the way. They've got down to 6.
See, we're not just bashing the state today.
No, they got down to six good items. My concern, as has been since the very beginning, is the welfare of the people who live on the corridor.
Okay.
That has to be item number 1, no matter what you're talking about. And the second thing is that before you pick any one of these 6, if it's one of these 6, what's it going to cost? How much more is each option going to cost over the other option? Are some of the options not feasible at all because you're under the power line for Santee Cooper? Are some not possible at all because they're in the wetlands? it's nice to have the 6 items, but you need to know the cost and the environmental impact before you can pick any of those 6 items. Prime concern, people live in corridor.
Okay, and those other things you talked about, yeah, building multiple new bridges is going to get pretty darn expensive.
That's right.
And environmentally expensive as well.
That's right.
To mitigate all of that. All right, again, that's something for you maybe to keep in the back of your mind as you go through and look at these things. You can have input. That's the
right.
best part. You can still have input on
right.
which of these projects is the one they pick.
And keep saying what you feel, keep
Yep.
asking questions, and don't sit back and wait.
All right, that's good stuff. The occupancy of island rental properties, hotels, all of that up 4% over the summer. That bodes great into the fall. It looks like it's going to hold up that way. Does that mean more ATAX money for folks who use that here in the town?
Well, we hope so. We were at a meeting last week. The Chamber ran a meeting called Thrive. It was a conference over at the Marriott, and the Lieutenant Governor was there. And she pushed a lot on better transportation for the whole state, moving people around more efficiently. And it's a good issue. I think we should take advantage of her push for it, and she believes that that's the way to go. And we need better transportation to service the people that we bring in here all the time.
But not necessarily more buses for Columbia, maybe more stuff for down here this time, huh?
That's right. That's right. It can't be a local transportation system in Columbia or Greenville.
All right, quick
It has to
question.
be all over.
Yankees have enough pitching to get through through this week with Minnesota?
They have enough pitching to get through this week because it's a 5-game series. I'm not sure they have enough pitching to get through the series after that a long way. I mean, if I had to pick 2 horses to go through, it's the Yankees and Atlanta.
Yeah.
I mean, Atlanta got a great team. I think Atlanta can beat the Dodgers at the end. Yankees will have a lot of work to do to get to the series.
Heuston's going to be really tough.
Yep.
Yep. All right, there you have it. Yankee analyst and the mayor of Hilton Head Island, John McCann. We'll be back with more on the Hilton Head News right after this.